to Beverly Hills schools, and I had always loved being in business and working. I had always worked all through high school. And the summer after I graduated high school, I got a job for a real estate agent. And back in those days, this was the 70s, they were called Girl Fridays.
Oh.
And really what it was is an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. Every day it was something new and exciting, and I was learning, and I was out in the world. And I loved it. And September came, and it was time to start college. So I had to quit my job because I was commuting to Pepperdine at the time. And after 3 months in college, I came home and told my parents that I'm dropping out of college and I'm going to go get my real estate license because that's what I love to do.
Wow.
And the most amazing thing back in the 70s is my parents never once looked at me and said, "Are you crazy? You're 19, 18 years old and you're going to go sell homes in Beverly Hills?" They were nothing like, "Oh my gosh, what a great idea. You can do it. You're going to be so fabulous." They were so positive. They were so encouraging.
That's great.
And there was not a doubt in my mind that I could go and do it and be successful. And I had their tremendous support, which meant so much to me. And I studied for my exam. It was really hard being 18 and learning everything you needed to know.
Yeah.
But I did it. I did flunk it once. And I went back and I
Here,
did
a lot
it
of
again.
people do flunk the first
Yeah.
time.
Well, you know, when you go into these exams and you don't even know what a first trust deed is,
Yeah.
or a mortgage,
Yeah.
or, you know,
You're like, oops,
basic,
I
you
should
know,
have
at
studied a little bit.
At 18, why would you know
Right.
those things? So
Yeah.
I was really
They
learning.
probably didn't have like the classes like they do now either.
Actually, they
Did they?
did. I
They
went
did.
every week to a class. They didn't have online then.
Yeah.
So there was nothing online. It was all books and going into a classroom setting. And I got my license, and my first weekend I went out and I sold my first home.
Wow.
Really?
Oh
How?
my gosh.
I had gotten this client. I remember she was a manicurist married to this lovely French man, and I can't remember, I might have met them through a mutual friend. They were obviously older than I was.
Mhm.
And I sold them that first weekend on Schuyler Road. We all know Schuyler Road.
Wow.
For $78,500. That was my
Wow.
first sale.
That's awesome. And what's that property worth today?
And that property today is probably, the last time it came on the market, I think was maybe 10 years ago, and it was selling for $1.5 million.
Oh, well, in 10 years, it's like,
And so now it's probably double that,
yeah.
double that. So that was my start in the business.
Cool. Let's intro you.
Okay, you want
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Okay.
Well, I'm Deanna,
I'm Tori.
and welcome to the Roof Shoot podcast. And today we are here with one of my very, very favorite agents that I've ever met, and
Thank you.
for sure that I've done a deal with,
Thank you.
Miss Jill Epstein.
Hi.
Epstein, how do you pronounce it?
Epstein.
Epstein.
Sienna
Epstein.
does love you.
Mrs.
Every time your name comes up, she's like, I love Jill.
Well, we had a great deal together.
We did, yeah.
We had great clients that we were working
Real,
for.
that
which
makes such a
always
big
makes-
difference.
Which makes a difference, but also working with a great agent like you are.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought with me today Mallory. Mallory Vinyl has been my assistant for, 3, 4, 5 months?
I think we're going on
Oh.
6.
Oh, we're going on
Wow.
6. And she's amazing.
Oh, that's
Amazing.
so
She's a
wonderful.
great support system to me, and I'm also getting her out there. She's getting me out there and doing things like this.
That's
I'm pushing her
fantastic.
out there. She's going out with a client today, and so
Great.
anyway, we're
How-
gonna get
so-
her out there more and more.
That's wonderful. Have you had your real estate license for very long?
I've had it for probably close to a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. What a wonderful way to start in the business.
Yeah, I know.
With Jill. Yeah,
Anyway, it's
Okay.
it's been a good relationship
that's great.
that I look forward to it continuing.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of your backstory and how you started. I would love to see a photo of you then. That would be so cute.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't you?
Yes.
I just picture you with like this cute little
Same
hairstyle.
hair.
Actually, I thought I was Cher. I had long hair. No, I think I had cut it by then. But this was the 70s. And, it was blue jeans, hip hugger blue jeans with the shirt unbuttoned down to here with
cute.
no bra.
Wow. And was it cool? Was LA like it is now, where it was cool to be just like kind of casual in your business attire? Like, did you wear that for real estate?
I really did.
Yeah.
But that was kind of that was the clients I was working with then, and I was being true to myself. I was an 18, 19-year-old
That's so cute.
girl, and I think, that's what I did. And we have that today.
Yeah.
I'm now not that person,
Yeah.
but there certainly is a whole new crop of agents that have their style and their way, which isn't mine, but it's theirs, and they're going to work with a certain clientele that's probably different than mine.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because there's lots of business to go around for everybody.
Yeah. That's a good question, actually, that do you have a certain sense or a certain feeling about this millennial generation of agents that's coming in, or do you notice any substantial differences, or is it just kind of individual and individual?
A lot of these younger agents, they've become very successful very quickly in a very hot market. And I think some of them are excellent agents and really care about their clients. But I also, at the same time, unfortunately think that there are some of the newer agents that don't understand that sensibility of your client comes first. I don't know what their longevity is going to be. I don't know that down the line some of them may end up overstepping their bounds as far as getting in trouble or not. But, you always have that, and it doesn't really matter what age.
That's
I think just newer agents in general. But I think they've also made this business in LA a lot more exciting. They've forced agents like myself that have been around a long time to step up the game and become current.
Yeah.
Because they're rocking the boat.
Do
And
you
that's
think-
a good thing.
Do you think the real estate industry today is a lot different than when you started, or similar?
Not really. I mean, there's certainly more money being thrown around, passed around, but it's all relative. Back in the 70s, spending $100,000 for a house was considered a lot of money.
Right.
So, the technology, I think, thinking about it, has made the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And that's been a blessing and a curse.
Really?
Yeah.
So I wonder, I always think like, it must have been so annoying when you had to print all your contracts and you couldn't
I
sign
still do.
DocuSign.
Make sure everything's printed when she gets to the office.
Okay, so then you like it. It's just what you're used to. And what
You know what? I want to be able to touch it, feel it, get my yellow highlighter out, and be able to make my notes and highlight things, and that's just the way I work best. I have become tech savvy. I do DocuSign, I work the MLS, I do all of that. But I don't ask my clients to sign hard copies. I do DocuSign. But I like to have a printed file of my transactions.
Yeah, I get the idea. Like, I like to print things and write notes on them sometimes.
Exactly.
It's nice because then you can reference them.
Exactly. I know I've had to train Mallory because this generation, everything's paperless.
Yeah.
She just as soon do everything on the computer,
Yeah.
which I respect too.
Do you use social media? You do, right?
I do.
You're getting better with Instagram.
She's getting good.
It's kind of fun, but it can be really obsessive also.
Yeah.
It's like I check my text, my voice messages, my email, and then I go to Facebook. Why am I checking Facebook?
It's exciting.
It's
You're
not.
like, ooh,
It's obsessive.
Do you send people friend requests?
Yeah. when I get into bed at night, because I really work 24/7.
Yeah.
So real estate's always on my mind, and cultivating new business and keeping in touch with my old clients. You know, I'm constantly. And so when the day is done and I'm finally getting into bed watching the news at 11 o'clock, I'll sit there with my phone. And that's when I start sending friend requests. I send emails to old clients thinking about you, what are you doing? And so, yeah.
Nice. Well, I want to go back to
Uh-huh.
when we were talking about longevity, because I want to know what you think. I mean, obviously you know from firsthand experience, what does it take to have a long and prosperous career?
You gotta love what you do.
Yeah.
You have to love what you do. You have to be true to yourself. My reputation to me is something I've worked really hard at. Not only getting a good reputation, but maintaining it. That's so important. And really, I still wake up every day looking forward to doing what I do. I feel so blessed. I feel so lucky that I can do it, and I do it, and I'm successful doing it, and I'm just grateful every day. I can't imagine people that have to wake up every day and go to a job and not look forward to it and not be happy and not like it. To me, that's so sad.
Yeah, it is.
So,
It's cool that you knew so young too. what
you know,
wanted to
isn't
do.
it?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that, and you may want to cut this part out, but you know, for me, it's not as much about the houses as it is about the clients.
Yeah,
and
right.
doing what's right for them.
Yeah,
And
I feel the same way.
Do you?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
putting the pieces of the puzzle together and really understanding what they say they want,
What they actually want.
but what they really actually want and what they really kind of need
Yeah.
for their inner being.
Right.
This is their home.
Yeah,
A home is so important. That's where you get your equilibrium.
totally. You know what? I have a question. A lot of times, like going to what you say of what people think they want and what they actually want or need, sometimes a little different. How firm or gentle are you with guiding your clients? And like, how do you, I sometimes like struggle with that balance. I'm like, I should have been firmer with them. I should have like pushed them a little because I knew it was,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So how do you
It's-
toe that line?
You know what? It's a really fine line to walk.
Mhm.
And I don't know that any of us totally ever feel comfortable doing it, but I think the more you get to know people and you're out there, obviously experience makes a difference. And when I go back to why am I really doing this, I'm doing this because I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And this is not what my clients do. And if I feel that they're needing to look at something or that they're making wrong choices, it's my job to tell them. And
Yeah.
sometimes you put that relationship on a line by doing that.
Mhm.
But if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be doing what I'm hired to do. But one day I'll write a book.
Oh,
You
that-
should.
Yeah.
Are you writing it down now?
No, it's all in my head.
I'm sure you had some interesting ones.
I have.
Yeah.
I
How do you deal with the stress, or do you find it stressful at all?
love wine.
Yeah.
You know, seriously, I thrive on it.
Yeah.
If I'm not stressed and crazy and running and busy, I'm not good.
Mhm.
I'm not happy. This makes me so happy.
Yeah. So you raised kids, and
I
how
did.
did you balance that?
Well-
Were you always like full in? And-
No, I wasn't. My kids now are 24 and 27, and I took some time off when they were younger. I went back full time, like 24/7 in 2000. So that's 16 years ago, so how old were they?
You were like 8 and 11.
11,
Yeah.
right. And you know, it was challenging.
Mhm.
It was challenging, but I think I was a good role model for them.
Mhm.
And they were always covered. My husband's my partner, and he understood what I was doing, and he was always had a job where he was able to be there when I wasn't.
Yeah.
And But no, when my son was in high school, I definitely struggled with the fact that I couldn't be there to kind of sit on his ass to get his homework done. And
Yeah.
I'd have to hire people to do that. And, you know, because he was very similar, kind of goes full circle, not different from my path. So that's my 24-year-old boy. So he came out okay, even with the working mom.
Of course.
And my daughter is a preschool teacher
Oh.
at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. So loving that. She's found her passion. So
That's great.
it all
I
ended
think
up
if you're
okay.
happy, they're happy.
Absolutely. And, you know, listen, everybody has issues, but they've got amazing work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they got that from their mama.
Yeah.
If you could go back and tell I love this question, tell your 18-year-old realtor self
Yeah.
something, what would you say? Like, what would your biggest piece of advice be?
You know, I don't know that I have any. I just got lucky, didn't I? I just
I don't
found
think
what
it's
I
luck.
loved. I just found what I loved, and I worked hard.
I think
and-
maybe knowing what you love is maybe a bit of luck or a bit of grace. I think it's grace, but I don't think it's like lucky that you built the
No.
career that you built. There's reasons.
Well, it's interesting, you know, maybe not. I think a lot of hard work. But everyone says, because I was born and raised here and my family was very involved in the LA social scene and knew a lot of people, and I was raised with knowing a lot of people, and they went, oh, well, what a natural for you. You'll get all those fabulous clients. Haven't
Clients
worked with
came
any
from-
of them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No. You know, there
I
was
believe that.
there was that glass ceiling, you know, even at my age now, you know, they still look at me from when I was a kid.
Yeah, because they see you in a certain way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So that was kind of a glass ceiling that
Mhm.
I've yet to break through. I mean, my clients have not been handed to me. I still sit open houses, I still market myself. The only thing I don't do is door knock,
Yeah.
because that's not my thing. But anything short of that, I'm out there still doing after all these years to make sure that my business grows.
Yeah. How many deals do you typically do in a year?
Somewhere around, if I only sales, because I do leases also.
Yeah.
But this year, this 2016, I think I've done 21 sales.
Wow.
And I think, you know, somewhere between that and 30.
That's a lot.
Not counting the leases I do,
Right.
because I probably do a dozen of those a year as well.
And
But
what's
considering that that's just me, I don't
Yeah.
have a team.
Yeah.
She's my team.
So it's just you two.
Well, I have an interesting new relationship that
Oh.
I've just formed,
Oh.
which I'd love to talk about.
Yeah. What is it?
So, there is a lot happening right now in Century City, and I don't know if you're aware of
Oh, I
it.
did see something on your website.
Oh,
You
what is
did?
it? I have a listing coming up there. Okay.
You do? Where?
At the Century Building.
Okay.
Okay. What's
So-
happening?
What's happening is, you know, the new mall is
Yeah.
and Eataly is coming in there, Mario Vitale's
Yeah.
Eataly,
What is it say?
which is going
I
to be.
mention that every time you drive by. I'm like, did you know they're opening an Eataly?
Who says that?
I do.
I know, it's like, so, I mean, this is gonna be our go-to now.
Yeah.
They're putting a Nordstrom's in there. The mall is gonna be incredible with shops and with restaurants. On top of that, the Century Plaza Hotel's being redone. They're putting condos on top of the hotel, and they're building 2 towers behind it.
Wow.
Okay, it is gonna be, it's exploding. There are 4 gated communities that were built in the early 80s. There is Park Place, Century Hill, La Park, and Century Woods. And the original developer was Ray Watt. And there was a man by the name of Richard Alonso who recently passed away. And Richard Alonso was the original salesperson for these 4 communities. And once the communities were sold out, he started Century Hill Realty. And he kept a very strong foothold in all of the developments there, especially Century Hill. And Richard, the last couple of years, was not well, and he has a sister, Mercedes. And Mercedes was really the behind the scenes with Richard for 20 years. So she knows the area as well as he did. And Richard recently passed away, and Mercedes wants to continue the business, continue to grow it. She has now come to Normand and Associates, and she and I are, with Mallory's help,
Yeah.
we are the Century City connection.
Wow.
And we've been doing this maybe 6 weeks. It just happened. Richard just passed away. And we got a listing for sale, sold it in a week, got a lease listing, sold that leased that in a week. We just listed this week a unit at Century Woods.
Okay.
Will be open on Tuesday.
Oh,
And
sick.
hopefully that'll go quickly.
How much is it?
$1,750,000,
Okay, how big?
2,800 square feet.
Oh,
On
that
the-
seems like a good price.
It's a really good price. You've got to understand, with these 4 developments that were developed in the 80s, a lot of these units are just coming for sale because the clientele had become old.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's happening now in these 4 complexes is the owners, a lot of them original, are either passing away, going to assisted living, have different lifestyles than what they
Yeah.
had. So the reason these are priced so well is they are original, but
They
they're
haven't
still,
been updated or
they have not been
yeah.
updated. But if somebody goes in and updates this, I mean, this is all happening in these 4 communities that have been very undervalued
Yeah.
and very much ignored with all the new construction happening. But what they don't understand is we're getting these places at a price point in an A+ location.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, Century
great.
Hill, we just did, I think, three sales actually in the last couple of months in Century Hill. 2,372 square feet that we're selling for anywhere from 1,175 to 1,350.
Wow.
Where do you
Views?
get that? No, because
Yeah, if it had
these,
views, it would be.
yeah,
lot
no,
more, yeah.
these are not high rises.
Yeah.
These are, Century Hill's on 21 acres of land. There are 5 swimming pools, there are tennis courts, there's racquetball court.
How many stories are they?
Each building, I think, is 3.
Okay. That's
3 or
cute. That's
4.
nice.
Yeah, so anyway, that's something new I'm doing, but I've got to be very, very careful not to pigeonhole myself as just a Century City agent. This
Well,
is.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Okay, I hope.
No, you don't.
You know, because I don't want to just do that.
Yeah.
What I look at that as is a wonderful leg of my business.
Yeah. So, do you have a niche, or have you had a niche over the years? No.
No, I love
You don't
doing
have like
it all.
one area that you kind of specialize in?
You know, listen, I was born and raised in Beverly Hills. My office is in Beverly Hills. But I sell anywhere from Los Feliz to Malibu, Mar Vista, Santa Monica, Palisades. I go the Strip, Post Office, Holmby
Yeah.
Hills, Little Holmby. I've done a lot in Little Holmby. I've done a lot in Beverly Hills Post Office, obviously. I'm all over. You know,
Good.
I can do that because I know these areas intimately,
Yeah.
having been here so long. Are you sick of me yet?
No, not at all. I can stay here and
I
talk to you
know,
for a
you're
long
so
time.
funny.
Want to go for lunch?
I'm taking a client to lunch.
What was, you did a video with us, what did you do, a neighborhood video?
I did a
Of some
neighborhood-
really small pocket of Beverly Hills,
Right,
right? What
right.
did you do?
Well, what I did is I was raised on a very exclusive street, which really wasn't then, but really has become Ridgedale Drive, which is a cul-de-sac street. And cul-de-sacs are fabulous. And they're a great area to raise kids. It's safe, it's, you know, you don't have cars zooming and, you know, it's not a through street. So I picked a few of my favorite cul-de-sac streets in Beverly Hills, Ridgedale being one, Pamela Drive being another, I think Eldon being the third. And that was the tour I did.
Yeah, well, that's good.
That's good.
Very specific. I like that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. I was nervous.
I
You're
think
good.
Peter shot your videos.
Ah, okay.
Any tips for new agents or any agents really? Anything that stands out to you that you always want to be like?
Be honest. Be honest with yourself, be honest with your clients. It sounds cliche, but it'll pay off. If you're in this for the long haul, you've got to establish these agent relationships. They are so important. And a lot of agents, I think, lose sight of that because
Yeah.
they wanna
When?
they want to win. It's about the client, which it is about the client, but we've got it. I can't tell you what an asset I am to my client from the simple standpoint is because of my agent relationships.
Oh yeah, I mean if I had 10 equal deals in front of me or even like close and you were one of them, I would be like, oh, this is easy.
But see,
It's true.
I worked,
It makes all the
I
difference in the
worked a
world.
lot of years, and that's, to me, means everything hearing you say that, because that's what my
Well, you have
business
to
is
like go
about.
through like sometimes a bumpy road with this person, and it can be like really stressful, or it doesn't have to be.
And you know, it's interesting, because I don't know if our clients really realize how important it is,
Mm-hmm.
but the agents do.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Oh, it's so good to have you.
It was.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Thanks
Yeah,
so
this
much.
was
So interesting.
Yeah, so
This was
interesting.
easier
Yeah.
than the last
Good,
time. I
good.
was
Good.
a little more comfortable.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
you're getting more comfortable on camera.
Mm-hmm. See, pushing
Now
yourself.
you can
Yeah.
shoot
Well, and
videos
also
all the
being
time.
with you guys and having my support.
Yeah.
It's great.